I would like to talk about the database structure. It's a little bit boring, maybe, but it's necessary to understand which record type exists in the database and how they are connected and why they are connected. So everything is connected to a chat. So the chat is containing a list of it's containing a list of messages. You can see the message. There are different types of messages. The attributes here are not updated, so it's what you should only focus on are the header or the table name for now. The attributes are not important or not important to understand at the moment. So a chat has many messages, and each message contain an SCT job or can have an SCT job, can have an TTS, can have an embedding job, speech to text job. Yeah, when the user mainly speaks, then you create an speech to text job. When the AI speech creates a text to speech job because you want to hear what the AI is saying as an audio. And every time a message is created, an embedding job is running to create the long-term memory. And each of these external, so chat completion, very important. So when the user has written a message, the chat completion is running, or a system message is maybe created, then also chat completion is running. So the chat completion job is saying that the AI thinks about what's going on in the chat, and then it will answer with a new message. And this will also be added to the the chat completion create also a new message, and then the chat completion job is running on the chat. It reads all messages, and it will create a new message out of all the previous messages. Yeah, this is how AI works, and most of our conversation, human conversation, is also working like this. So, and each of these jobs are can be for free, but they can also have a payment job. A payment job is an Ethereum transaction. So when, for example, the speech text to speech job is created from 11 Labs, for example, then I calculate the cost for this voice creation, and then I will make a payment job, and this will then be sent. The funds will be transferred from the CypherDOS wallet, from the CypherDOS wallet, from the user CypherDOS wallet to the company's CypherDOS wallet address. Yeah. So, and each job needs to have a provider. So embedding job needs to have a provider, text-to-speech job, speech-to-text job, and chat completion. They have all providers. So embedding job is most of the time it's an embedding model used, and the provider is an AI provider. And text-to-speech is mainly a voice. Text-to-speech voice is created, and the text-to-speech provider is here. So it looks, okay, what voice I should use and what's the provider, and then it will use this one. And then chat completion job is a chat model, and the chat model is connected to an AI provider. So this way, when the jobs are created in the background, it will always look up for this information: chat completion, chat model, an AI provider, speech to text is speech to text provider like this one. I'm connected here. Text to speech voice, text to speech provider will be used, and embedding job is embedding model or the AI provider. So this is how internally the processes are handled and the external services are called. So one chat can have one DOL. So when the user has created a DOL via connecting with mobile phone, adding the API key and Wi-Fi credentials, it will connect without connected to a chat. It will live inside connected to a user. But then when the user has connected the DOL to a chat, it's connected. And then when a new message is created that needs to be played, it will not only send to the browser, but also to the DOL. The DOL is also connected to a topic, so DOL knows when something happened in the chat, and then it will play the messages as well. So the scenario described is describing how the AI should respond, in which mood it is, and which capabilities she has, because it's containing the scenario contains the chat model, and that means that when you can switch the scenario during the chat. That means when you switch to a new scenario, the scenario has a new chat model and even in different AI provider. But this chat history stays the same. And this way you can switch a different scenario and then maybe an uncensored scenario. And then you can create messages that are explicit. And when you're switching back to a Llama 3 censored model, it will continue to use the uncensored messages, but it will remove from the chat completion, it will remove the uncensored messages or the messages that were created by an uncensored model. That means, when you start having a sexy conversation with content that is not possible to process by Llama 3 or by a censored model, I will remove the messages from the chat history. So the chat completion is running only with messages that will be created by an censored model. So the censored AI will not complain that the messages cannot be processed. The same with the rec, with the context messages. So when the user is writing and is creating a new message, before the chat completion is running, not only the last 50 messages will be used, but it will be also looked up in the vector database similar messages that are that the user asks for. So it will be when the user is talking about, I don't know, cars or food, then the message will be sent before the chat completion is run to a vector database, and it will receive similar messages to the user's question. And these will also be added to the last 10 ref messages will be added to the chat completion. So the last 50 messages plus the 10 last messages that are related to the last message. This is how RAG works. So, and the user I didn't connect everything, but the user, most of the records here has a user ID. That means that the records are connected to a specific user. For example, the avatar has a Here it's called author, but I changed it to user. That means that the avatar has a user, and but not all records. There's also an admin user. This is capable of creating a TTS provider and TTS voices, because the TTS voices or the TTS provider also contains price and the API key. The same for AI provider, chat model, embedding models. Also only an admin can create these records, as the same as speech text provider. Yeah, but a normal user can create avatar, scenario, doll, chat, message, and these things. But these are only created in the background. And yeah, so I hope that makes sense now. Some some things that maybe will change in the future is still scenario. I already changed it, but so scenarios are now decoupled from avatar. In the past I had it connected to avatar, scenario, chat, but now I decoupled avatar with scenario. So to make the application more simple, you can select an avatar, start chatting with them, and it will automatically use one scenario that is available. But the scenarios uh, can be created by a user. That means when you start a chat, you have a list of many scenarios. But this is maybe, I only want to have 3 scenarios that I can choose from. So maybe what we can do is that avatar, uh, new joint records like avatar scenarios. That means avatar has a default list of recommended scenarios for the specific avatar. That means you can create a scenario, or you can create many scenarios, and when you create an avatar, you can connect um, three, maybe 3 or less scenarios to the avatar. So it's like a default scenarios for this avatar. But if you don't have a list of, but you don't need to create a scenario list for the specific avatar, then it will use all available scenarios. Or when you create an avatar, you don't want to create scenarios. You want to use the existing scenarios like small talk, sexy talk, and deep talk. These are the standards you want to use. You can connect the existing scenarios to your own avatar, so that you use existing scenarios for your own avatar. Yeah, because maybe in the future some avatars should not have um, uncensored chat models. So maybe some avatars should only talk censored. You don't want to be able to use or make the user you don't have the user's possibility to use your avatar with sexy talk, for example.